A blowout win on opening day. A pitcher's duel yesterday. What is in store today for the White Sox? Sox and Angels wrapping up the three-game series this afternoon on the south side. With Mother Nature possibly throwing a curveball with the weather. Davis Martin takes them out against Jack Kochanowicz. White Sox Countdown Live starts right now. Hey everybody, it is White Sox Countdown Live from the ballpark here with the legend Ozzie Guillen. I'm Chuck Garfien. All right, the weather is hanging in.
We're in Chicago, brother. You never know what's going to happen here.
I was almost certain there was going to be a tarp on the field. No, the sun is out. Looking like we're going to be on time, so that is great news. Listen, the White Sox did not win many series last season. What would it mean to begin 2025, them winning a series, getting a victory here today?
I think it's amazing, be nice for them, especially for the players, especially the one who was there last year. But it's good, step it up the right way. And I say in the preseason show, winning or loss, I don't go to count with. I like when they win. But if they continue to play the way they played the last couple of days, they all going to have a chance. They put themselves have a chance every day to win a game. I mean, the last two games they compete. Yesterday they fell a little bit, but they not hit well.
2 hits.
Obviously,
yeah.
The kid from Anaheim was the California Angels was very well, threw the ball very good, but they play good. They pitch well. To me, that's the most important thing in baseball. When you pitch good, especially your starters, you give yourself a lot of good, positive way for the future. Last year we see the starters only go 1 inning, 2 innings early in the season, and I say the soon hit July hit. We're done.
Yeah,
that's what happened. I think the start has been great last two games.
All right, lots to get to on the show. By the way, we've got special guests here with us in the studio. Players from the LaGrange Park
There you go.
There they are. They play Little League and travel ball year-round in the western suburbs and the Midwest. You guys are awesome, and I may have found a photo of 2 of my Little League days back in Flossmoor.
Don't make me laugh.
Maybe we will show you these photos, and maybe, just maybe, there's a photo of young Ozzie Guillen playing Little League baseball. So, you guys want to see Ozzie Guillen when he played Little League baseball? Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You just want to make fun of me, kid.
MLB The Show 25, take 3.
What's up, guys? I'm Eli De La Cruz.
Juan Moncada had a big RBI yesterday. We'll talk about that and the greeting he received from White Sox fans. Davis Martin takes the mound, an inside look at his brand new pitch that's been a game changer for him. And first, though, we make sure to scan the QR code on your screen right now to
SiriusXM's The Leadoff Spot is now on MLB Network. Join Steve Phillips and former MLB players Xavier Scruggs and Eduardo Perez for a recap of the night's action, preview of the day ahead, plus in-depth baseball interviews all season long on MLB Network.
The face of the game of baseball is running through this guy right here.
That dude has electricity coming out of his pores.
You're changing the sport, man. I just go out there every day and give them 100%.
Every day he does something that draws your attention.
Green is cooking with gas.
It feels like he's finally put it all together. I think Hunter Green's about to become a super ace of a playoff team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to be in 2025.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go, take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
And then Jonathan Cannon fouled it up. 5 scoreless. Why have they been so effective, Ozzie?
They are on the play. They hiccup. Yeah, had a couple hiccup up there, but they resolve the problem right away. Especially right now, Kochanowicz go there and couple ground balls, double play, get out the inning. I love what they see. 5-6 inning, two guys is a good start. And what I see, when you have a young talent out there, you take a lot of walks, big counts. Those guys went out there last couple of games, did a tremendous job, gave the team impact on the game, did a great job to give the chance to win the game.
Yeah, I talked to Cannon today. He said he was amped up in that first inning, especially with the change. Well, then he settled down. So today, we got Davis Martin going up against Jack Kochanowicz. Martin came back from Tommy John surgery last year. He went 0-5, but that doesn't tell the whole story. The White Sox scored only 22 runs in his 10 games. 9 of them were starts. 2 of those starts came against the Angels, where the Sox scored only 4 runs in those 2 games. Last year, pitching coaches Brian Bannister and Ethan Katz taught Martin a kick change. It's been a game changer. So what is a kick change? Davis showed me at spring training. This is how he throws it.
It's a two-seam changeup. You'll grab it with your middle finger and your ring finger, and the kick comes from your middle finger as you climb. And so
it's called a kick change.
It's called a kick change. And so as you go through it, it's built for guys who come through the side of the ball. They're supinators, not pronators. So I've never been able to get inside the ball, especially after TJ got even worse. So I had to find a way to get a changeup. And so this is the only way I could do it. I'm going to have to hold my mic. Yeah, there you go.
All right, there we go. I got you.
So yeah, basically what happens is you come in at 1 o'clock. So this would be 1 o'clock. This would be 12 o'clock. And as you throw it, this middle finger is going to be the last thing on the ball. And what it does is it kicks the axis from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So instead of having a spin like this, you get a spin like this. And so that's what pushes the ball down. And that's what gets almost the splitter changeup type effect.
All right, so he added this pitch to his arsenal, and it's another. See how that moves on these guys away from lefties, and why would this be such an effective pitch for him?
Well, it's funny. This kid throw a lot of strike. He only, in his career, he struck out 95. He only walked 42. That means around the plate with that pitch, that will help him a lot, especially in the American League, because a lot of tough lefties. Yeah. Very good lefties. But you keep throwing that thing to also the righties. They had to put in mind, like, okay, got fastball slider. Then also you will use the changeup against righty. Most of the time, righty don't use a changeup to the righties, and lefty don't use the changeup to lefties in the past. Nowadays they're doing it, and I think that's going to be a good piece to him. Is one thing about it, just keep those around the plate. If you keep those around the plate, they will swing, ground ball, miss, pop. That's the key of those pitchers, fastball sliders. You keep those around the plate, make those guys get themselves out.
All right. Well, meanwhile, Yoan Moncada had an eventful day yesterday. First start ever against the White Sox. It began with him being introduced by Gene Honda, and this was the reaction from many White Sox fans. A lot of boos from Sox fans every time he stepped up there, but your defense you saw from him. What'd you see from Moncada?
First of all, I think I talked to him for a couple of minutes to say he's healthy. Look at that play, man. He wasn't the shortstop. Yeah. All right. People know how much I love this kid, but the boo, he earned it. He deserved it. But they should boo him. They booed him because he make a lot of money. He got hurt a lot. And people think that's like he don't care about the game, the way he is. But I think I got to blame Rick Hahn to make that move. Give those guys so much money with no reason. Or back then, like, oh my God, what a move. He ended up being very bad move for the White Sox organization. Spend all that money with him. You know one thing about it? These guys, I said it yesterday when you asked me like who going to play, who going to have a good season with the Angels.
Him or Tim Anderson?
I just talked to the manager today. I say make sure you keep this guy kicking the butt. Make sure don't let him go.
Yeah, well, here's what he said after the game about being booed by Sox fans every time he came to the plate. Quote, honestly, it doesn't bother me. There are fans that love me, fans that hate me, but I don't pay attention to it. Now, you said, blame Rick Hahn because he signed him. I will go back to that date when they signed him to that extension, and I loved it. Now,
everybody did.
Yeah, so we all did. but we didn't expect his career to go the route that it did.
You got to earn it, buddy.
And Moncada didn't earn it.
No, you got to earn it before you sign. Yeah. You got to do something in baseball to earn it.
Oh,
they did it.
Yeah, so they should not have done that.
Thank you.
Yes.
They did it. And besides that, Moncada, you're wrong. You say a lot of fans love me. Like that, I'm the only one love you, me. That's it.
Yes. Are you the president of the Yoan Moncada fan club?
No, I don't. But it's the only one.
I think you own the team.
By the way, I just talked to the coaches a few minutes ago. I said, don't let this guy go. Beat him like a horse. Beat him like a whip.
Yeah.
You have to go there, make sure, because that's what he needs. He needed somebody to push him to be better. You know, here he got the money. Everybody was afraid to talk to him. Everybody's like, you getting on his butt. He's going to be upset. No, beat him. And I know he had the right manager out there, right coaches to make him better.
Ron Washington certainly has the ability to do that. So there are a lot of familiar faces on both teams. Former White Sox on the Angels, former Angels on the White Sox. Let's start with this. All right, so on the Angels, got Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, Nicky Lopez was signed just last week. He pitched on opening day. Chucky Robinson's their third-string catcher. And yes, Yolmer Sanchez is in their minor league system. So those are the former Sox on the Angels. Who's on the White Sox? Who are former Angels? Matt Thaiss. All right, first-round pick of the Angels. All right, so his hitting coach, Marcus Timms, was his hitting coach with the Angels. Matt Wise was a bullpen coach and pitching coach with the Angels. Drew Butera was Matt Thaiss' teammate in 2021 and was the Angels' bullpen coach in 2022. Phil Nevin was Matt Thaiss' manager with the Angels. He's now a special advisor in the front office. And then you reminded me of another guy over there. You got Jerry Narron.
Jerry Narron, great baseball man. Unbelievable great baseball man. By the way, I was against Jerry Narron playing against each other when he was a catcher for the Angels. And this is kind of crazy.
This is
crazy scenario.
What's going on with the White Sox and the Angels? All right. Well, speaking of the Angels, let's show you their lineup here today. And yes, two familiar faces are in there. Yoan Moncada, Tim Anderson, both in the lineup this afternoon. Tim played second on opening day. He is at short today, so the entire left side of the infield today will be a former Sox combo. The Angels have only scored one run in the first two games. Davis Martin will try to hold down the fort once again this afternoon. Now, the Angels will be sending this guy on the mound here today, Jack Kochanowicz. As a rookie last year, he was really tough on the White Sox. He faced them twice in September and only gave up one run in 14 innings. Andrew Vaughn took him deep. You notice what he's got. Why is he such a tough hitter, or was it more, or pitcher, or was it more just the White Sox offense wasn't good last year?
Well, this guy's got good stuff. You know, one thing about the Angels, they didn't talk about it, all this stuff. Their pitching staff, I think, is pretty,
that's the strength of the team.
Yes, I think that they're pretty good. They're in the right spot right now, especially guys coming to the bullpen. For everybody out there, you know, you're going to see a lot of games like this with the Angels, with not that many guys can score against them. They have good arms out there. It's up to the offense, obviously, to respond, but I like the arm.
Here is the White Sox lineup today, and you got Will Venable said a couple of days ago, the lineup's going to be moving around a lot. It's going to be pretty fluid to open the season, and we are seeing that today. Nick Maton is batting leadoff. They're going lefty-righty, 1 through 9. Miguel Vargas moves down to 6. Brooks Baldwin was in right yesterday. He's at second base today. Travis Jankowski is in right field. He bats 9th. Now, you may have noticed there was a little bit of offense in Yankee Stadium yesterday. They hit 9 home runs, did the Yankees. Even the first 3 pitches of the game were hit for home runs. Aaron Judge hit 3 on his own. He almost hit his 4th in that game. Now, some of the Yankees players were using torpedo bats, which moves more of the wood down the bat where the label is, making the bat look more like a paddle. Now, not everybody was using this torpedo bat, but when you have 9 home runs in one game, 5 off Nestor Cortez, your former teammate, it might raise some questions. And I think we got a shot of what this bat looks like compared to the normal bats. So you'll see what we're talking about here. Do we have this bat? Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but maybe just imagine it. It looks like a paddle. So with more on this, we got our field pass with Brooke Fletcher and Connor McKnight. All right, guys, you were in the clubhouse today. You were talking to the guys. I have 3 questions. What's the deal? Is this legal? What do the White Sox think about it?
All right, we think it's legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
We think it is. But the guys, they definitely have heard of these bats, including Andrew Vaughn. He said, listen, it's impressive. You were just going through the numbers from the Yankees, but he said at the end of the day, you still have to make contact with the ball. You got to hit it. Now, he does question, although he's never used it, how it impacts your swing. He said because you're moving more of the way to the middle of the bat, how is it going to impact your swing, your balance? So that's something that you have to consider.
Yeah, it is. And listen, baseball is a game of every hit counts, right? A seam ground ball, a duck snort, it all works. And Travis Jankowski talked about it in the clubhouse, too. If the science is sound and it gets you that, he's kind of on board. Here's Travis.
I think the science behind it makes sense, you know. I think, you know, when I was over with the Cubs, they were saying that 80% of hitters, when they miss the barrel, miss low. So to move the barrel down makes sense. No, I don't know. I've never used one. I don't know how it feels. To me, you know, the feel of a bat is most important. But the science behind it definitely makes sense.
So the other thing about these bats are going to be the defense, right? Travis, I asked him, you know, if you were playing defense in the corner, would knowing that you've got a bat out there change the way you play? He said, yeah, you can't let your ears fool you. You got to make sure that that liner is coming off the way you'd expect it, and that's something that they're going to have to look out for if these bats become a big deal. Yeah, teams' analytics departments, they are working overtime just trying to find ways to make, you know, hitters at the plate, their jobs a little more easy. But I'm curious, Ozzie, you've been around the game for so long. What are your thoughts on the bats?
Well, by the way, I use that bat. By the way, the first time I see that bat, it was worse because it's just like little tiny bat. By the way, your dad was on the ball club with me when I used it. That don't help me. That don't help me at all because it was Julio Cruz used those bats, and I saw it. Obviously, I want everybody's bat because I could have hit. Then I used it. I ordered like 6 bats with Chicken Willie. I got it.
Chicken Willie, or he was in the clubhouse back in the day.
Never worked for me. And hopefully Major League Baseball people don't start a soap opera with this thing. You know, who hit the home runs? Who hit it? The big boys. You can get Judge, go out there with a toothpick, and he will hit a home run. That's all it is. I think those guys are legal, and hopefully those hit the 9 home runs. Hey, Jerry, spend some money and bring those bats to those guys to see if they can help them.
All right. By the way, I love, again, Chicken Willie.
Yes.
All right. He worked in the clubhouse back in the 80s, right?
Cook.
He was the
bad
cook,
boy,
bad boy. He did everything.
Trainer, everything.
Now they've got 30 people working, doing 30 people doing one job that he used to do.
And they keep off on the field. Those 30 people, they can keep nobody on the field.
All right. Got to go back to you, Connor, because last night in AAA, the Charlotte Knights offense went off again. They won 12-4. Kyle Teel, 6 RBIs. He's got 2 home runs already. So Sox fans are wondering, okay, is he going to be here tomorrow?
You know, who knows? Those flights move quickly. Listen, Kyle's the kind of guy that can get to the bigs in a very quick fashion. 2 home runs, 6 RBI in the game last night. Questions about how well he'd hit once he got to AAA. He did not do so last year in the Boston Red Sox organization. Things are starting out on a heater for Kyle Teel. It is exactly what the White Sox front office and White Sox fans, frankly, want to see from Kyle Teel as he starts his season. Who knows how quickly he could be here, guys, but good start for Kyle.
All right, I'm making him a reservation on Southwest.
No, by the way, don't let's start. Don't anxious with it. Make sure they have a plan.
I know. I'm having fun.
No, talk about you. Talk about fans, media. They have a plan. When I wish I can see those guys come on all together in the same bus, same airplane. Here you go, guys. Chicago time. You know, just one by one. They could, you know, they struggle here in the big league. They send him back down. It's at one time, one bus, one plane ticket, and everybody go to Chicago.
I love it. All right. Connor Brook, thank you so much. Looking forward to the broadcast with you, John, and Steve. Coming up, you and I are going to be on the hot seat, I think, because we've got some kids from LaGrange Park.
There you go.
They might be asking us a question or two, so we'll be talking with them in a little bit. But first, we're getting close to first pitch. That means it's time for Aurelio's Pizza. Give your family the signature sauce, the homemade crust, the fresh ingredients they love. Go to Aurelio'sPizza.com. Davis Martin warming up. We're coming right back.
Joe, what's with the new sweater?
It's a jersey.
No, it's a sweater.
In baseball, it's a jersey, and I'm...
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game, these games, all the games, pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way, with real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
High, deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecue.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players. Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch one.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
Create your play.
Go further.
Wait, this might work.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Mira esto. What the?
The fun this young man has playing baseball.
Slater, Corey Lee, and Shane Smith took questions, and they got a lot of great answers from those three White Sox players. Shane Smith will be making his Major League debut in that Twin Series coming up next here, either Monday or Tuesday. It might be tomorrow, actually, for the White Sox. And we have some youngsters here with us, the LaGrange Park Bandits. Yeah, our Little League team here. Every Sunday we're bringing in Little League squads to our show. They play Little League and travel ball year-round in the western suburbs. In the Midwest, you guys played in the Field of Dreams.
Wow, lucky you guys.
Iowa. I know.
That's awesome.
And I am told there's a question from one of them. Roll tape. What's this question for us?
Hi, my name is Jack Mallory from the Bandits, and my question is, what was your best season in baseball?
All right, Jack, your best season in baseball. I think that question's for you, Ozzy, not for me.
The one I never played. My best season in baseball, I think every season for me was the best because I have a chance to play baseball. But the most memorable one, I won Rookie of the Year. But when I managed the White Sox to 2005 championship, that was one of the best memories I have. I just played baseball. I thought it was like a normal job, but that's my best season. That I never forget about it when I was a manager.
Jack, that's a great question. In fact, I can answer that question too, because the question was, what was your best season in baseball? It was this one. My first Little League season back in the day.
Look at you. I bet your dad was behind like, come on, baby, I will take you, Mickey D.
No, my dad was working.
Okay, did your uncle take you, Mom?
No, my mom did. So look at the face. I had my game face on. By the way, we won the championship that first year, despite me being on the team.
You're lucky. Because
I was pretty good that year.
You know why? Because when I play Little League in that age, we don't have a camera, we don't have bats.
Well, hold on. Look what I have, all right? These guys today, I'm so jealous of everyone who plays Little League baseball today because they got everything. All I had were blue jeans.
Look at me. Look at that thing.
Blue jeans and a shirt. Okay, so what you're looking at this, Ozzie, this was your Little League team. Which one is you?
I'm the one with the next to the guy in the left side or right side, or the guy with the catching glove.
Okay, so you're bottom row, fourth from the right.
Yes,
that was you.
Right in the middle. That's me right there. That's it.
Burke and Jonathan Cannon kept it scoreless for the White Sox in the first two. Okay, sounds good. Great. Hey everybody, welcome up to the perch. I'm Connor McKnight. Another good one for you today here at Rate Field. The pitching has been solid, and for more, we head down to the field where I'll set this up a little bit more, Brooke, I promise you, but Davis Martin tries to match what his rotation mates have done in the first two games this year.
Yeah, you touched on it, Connor. Sean Burke and Jonathan Cannon, they set the tone for this starting rotation here. 11 scoreless innings for them, only allowing 7 hits. But a pitcher is only as good as their supporting cast, and you got to give credit to the guys behind the plate, and Corey Lee and Matt Theis. Both pitchers gave them a lot of credit, just getting them to settle in, and just the chemistry between those two was off the charts. But also the unsung heroes, I feel like, have been the defense, you guys. The guys behind them, if they are playing clean baseball, it allows the pitchers to go deeper into games. Will Venables saying the defense has been outstanding the last 2 games. Hopefully they can continue to do that for this guy right behind me in Davis Martin. And Connor, to give you an idea of how rare this start is, the last time this franchise had 2 scoreless back-to-back inning games from their starters was in 1947.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Lopat went 16-3 with a 2.81 ERA that year. Rigney went on to marry the owner's daughter. So things worked out pretty well for both guys. We got a ball game coming up in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll get you set with John and Steve here on CHSN. For sure, yeah.
The face of the game of baseball is running through this guy right here.
That dude has electricity coming out of his pores.
You're changing the sport, man. I just go out there every day and give them 100%.
Every day he does something that draws your attention.
Green is cooking with gas.
It feels like he's finally put it all together. I think Hunter Green's about to become a super ace of a playoff team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to be in 2025.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way. Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude.
Stand up to cancer.
We are attacking your offices.
Together.
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 Yordan Alvarez is just becoming this consistent hitting machine.
The big man who wears 44 is 4 for 4.
Face of the franchise.
Yes, sir! Sean Burke with back-to-back punchies.
This has been a very impressive opening day start for Sean Burke.
Good pitch, the put-away changeup. Got him looking, strike 3. Jonathan Cannon through 5, keeps the Angels off the board.
No better place to be on a Sunday afternoon than at the ballpark. And the White Sox and Angels have an early rubber match here on this Sunday afternoon. Welcome into Rate Field, everybody. A good pitching matchup again today with Davis Martin for the White Sox and Jack Kochanowicz for the Angels. Both pitchers familiar with these teams. A lot of starts late for these two in last season against one another. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Connor McKnight. We'll join Brooke Fletcher on the field in just a moment. It has been a really impressive start to the season for the White Sox rotation. Sure, it's 2 games, but that third guy, Brooke, is always looking to match what has been done by the 2 starters prior. Davis is trying to get it started in the bullpen.
Yeah, Connor, you mentioned Sean Burke and Jonathan Cannon. They really set the tone for this series. 11 scoreless innings, only allowing 7 hits, and they attest that too. Just quality pitches and the ball movement. You see Davis Martin right there about to go out for his outing, but a pitcher is only as good as his supporting cast. The 2 really gave credit to the guys behind the plate in Corey Lee and Matt Theis. The games that they called, they were able to manage really good outings, but the unsung hero, I feel like, of the last 2 games has been this defense. When the defense is playing clean baseball, it alleviates the pressure off of the pitcher, allows them to go deeper into games. Will Venable said they have played outstanding, and they're hoping to continue that and take some pressure off of Davis Martin. But to give you an idea, Connor, of how big this start is for the White Sox, the last time they had back-to-back scoreless outings from their starters was in 1947.
It has been a minute. Lopat went on to a good year, 16-13 with a 2.81 ERA. Rigney not so much, but he did marry the owner's daughter shortly after his playing career.
That's a good fact.
I feel like that's a win probably for both of them. Yeah, that's good stuff, Brooke. 1947. It's been a minute. We got a good one coming up here at the ballpark. A rubber match again. Davis Martin, everybody's favorite, has the bump for the White Sox. We'll get you set with John and Steve when we come back on CHSN. Don't go away.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better. They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players. Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch 1.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
By Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Illinois Lottery. Illinois is full of winners. Play today. And by Wintrust, Chicago's bank. Show your team pride with a White Sox debit card. Get yours at wintrust.com/Sox. Member FDIC, EHL lender.
Davis Martin will get the ball for Game 3, the deciding game in this 3-game series against the Angels. You saw what Martin did last season against the Angels. His last 2 starts, 8 2/3, gave up 10 hits, 5 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. He does want to cut down on those walks this season. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside my guy. He's Steve Stone. I'm John Triffin. Davis Martin came back from Tommy John surgery in 2024, established himself in the rotation for the White Sox. And Steve, the key pitch for Martin has been that slider.
Oh, that slider, one of the best in baseball. And when you look at the numbers, it certainly bears out that the slider against right-handers especially is outstanding. 121 batting average, 293 slugging percentage with 23 strikeouts. So if he uses that, he's going to be in pretty good shape. Now he has added a different straight change, and that also expands his arsenal. This is a guy who proved that he's ready for prime time. He's going to start the third game of the season. Hopefully a successful outing here this afternoon.
Coming up, it is the Sunday Series settler. White Sox took game 1. Angels took game 2. Who will take the settler here? First pitch is coming up after the break.
SiriusXM's The Leadoff Spot is now on MLB Network. Join Steve Phillips and former MLB players Xavier Scruggs and Eduardo Perez for a recap of the night's action, preview of the day ahead, plus in-depth baseball interviews all season long on MLB Network.
The face of the game of baseball is running through this guy right here.
That dude has electricity coming out of his pores.
You're changing the sport, man. I just go out there every day and give them 100%.
Every day he does something that draws your attention.
Green is cooking with gas.
It feels like he's finally put it all together. I think Hunter Green's about to become a super ace of a playoff team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to be in 2025.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces.
All right, let's go take a selfie.
MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Davis Martin is fired up as the White Sox take the field. Time for our live lines presented by Circus Sportsbook. We check out the odds for Davis Martin's strikeout total today. Over-under is set at 4.5, Steve.
Well, he's not really a strikeout pitcher. He is a ground ball pitcher. He's got a pretty good sinker. We know about the slider, and being an optimistic guy, I like the over always, and hopefully he will be over that, and he'll do it quickly.
Ron Washington this week, 55th opening day in Major League Baseball. One of the veterans of the game. He just loves teaching it to anyone who will listen, especially the infield. We take a look at the starting lineup for Ron Washington's Los Angeles Angels. Taylor Ward once again gets the start at the top, followed by Sean Noel. Mike Trout still looking for his first hit of the season. Soler, Yohan Moncada with the game winner yesterday. Darno, his first time behind the plate. Rengifo, Tim Anderson, and Kyron Paris in center. Davis Martin, we are ready to go, and that cutter right on the black, strike one.
Nobody's going to hit that one, and Ward has been really tough leading off baseball games. So last year, Davis Martin with 10 starts, looking to shore up that control. We'll take a look at what he's going to use today. Four-seam fastball he uses 28% of the time, backed up by the slider, the change, the occasional cutter, very few curves.
On the ground is short. And Amaya not able to handle that one. So an error for the shortstop to start the ball game.
We'll take a look at the defense. It's Benintendi in left and Luis Robert Jr. Travis Jankowski getting the start in right, along with Vargas, Amaya, Baldwin, and Vaughn. Matt Theis has got the plate, and we told you about Davis Martin.
Davis Martin said, you know, the first one, it's a little more nerve-wracking than the rest. Start the year, you want to set the tone, but all in all, he seemed like he is excited and he is ready to roll. Davis Martin establishing himself in that rotation last year for the White Sox.
Kochanowicz is not a power hitting first baseman. He's a contact first baseman. Chris Siegel, as you can see, that's what he does. Pitcher friendly. You got to love up this pitcher friendly.
Especially if we have weather that could potentially move into the area sometime later today. Not sure how many innings we're going to be able to get in. Although the start of this game, this is absolutely beautiful. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Martin. I was looking at the weather report earlier this week. There was possible tornado warning this week.
Yeah, it looked pretty dismal, but right now 70 degrees. Feels like 64. The wind 14 miles an hour coming in from right, but in this ballpark it swirls and you never really know.
Davis Martin was drafted by the White Sox in the 14th round in 2018 out of Texas Tech. Was set back due to injuries, missed all of 2023 with Tommy John, and he has talked in length about what that was like trying to come back from that injury. 0-2.
Well, he had a really strong spring training.
This opening week is brought to you by PNC Bank. Oh, 2 again. And a chopper to Vaughn. That's a foul ball. So now the 6th pitch fouled off by Kochanowicz at the plate. This is something we saw against Jonathan Cannon yesterday. The Angels hitters really making White Sox pitchers work in the first inning.
Well, especially Ward. He's off to a really good start, and he's a tough out. The Sox had gone 2 straight without an error, and that was broken on the first play.
How about a 7th pitch fouled off by Kochanowicz?
It's a pretty impressive fastball at 97. He got it inside, and Kochanowicz is a contact guy. More times than not, he's going to put the bat on the ball.
A timeout called at the plate.
I think at 0-2, especially after you buzzed him at 97 in on the hands, it's a good time for that straight change, which doesn't have a lot of movement away from the lefties, but it does go straight down.
0-2 for Martin. On the ground in the hole, knocked down by Baldwin, but he'll have no play at first. Everybody's safe.
It goes as a hit. It is a straight change. And Baldwin over, has the ball carry him off the glove, and just like that, 2 on, nobody out. And Davis Martin in an early jam.
Here is Mike Trout. We take a look at his career numbers for active players. One of the best players in the game when he can stay healthy. And for Trout, he is still looking for his first hit of the season. He started the season 0 for 6. Interestingly for Trout, since making his first opening day roster in 2013, he's never gone hitless for the Angels in the first 3 games of the season.
That's the first time that Davis Martin has missed the strike zone.
One ball, 1 strike, the count to Trout. Up out of the zone, and Theis throw down to second, and it gets underneath Baldwin's glove. Thankfully, nobody is able to advance. A little sloppy start on the infield for the White Sox.
We'll take another look. And Baldwin lifts up the glove a little too soon. The ball goes right under the glove. That's one you want to block. And for a center fielder in that situation, you immediately run to the ball because you have no play except if the ball gets away.
There is that changeup that Davis Martin says he calls it a kick change, where it just has that downward action.
Yeah, you can see it. It's almost a two-finger change, but it doesn't move in to the right-hand hitters. It kind of goes straight down. It's a really good pitch, especially at 91.
Trout serves this one into right field. There's his first base hit of the season. And the Angels load the bases here to start this ball game.
So let's go pitch by pitch. Strike one, just misses inside, evening the count. 2-1 count, and a good changeup evens it before a line drive to right field is a first base hit. That was another change, and Trout just went down and got it.
Jorge Soler, one of the new faces on this Angels team. They acquired him to give some protection to Mike Trout in the cleanup spot.
He is pretty much bat for hire because he can hit, and he's very strong if he makes contact.
It's this one hard to center field. Robert Jr. has a beat on it, will make the catch, and it's deep enough to score the run from third. So the Angels strike first and lead it 1-0 in this first inning.
Turns out to be a good at bat for Soler because he didn't want to hit a ground ball. You want to make sure you hit one in the air, and he hit it hard enough and far enough to score the first run of the game and drive in his first run of the year.
Yoan Moncada gets the start at third base for the Angels here today. The former White Sox spent 8 years here on the south side. Had the game winner yesterday. A little grounder back up the middle off the glove of Clevenger, and that was it. 1-0 Angels win yesterday. On the ground to the right side, Baldwin goes to second for one, over to first, and Moncada beats it out, which means the run will score from third. Angels lead it 2-0.
Let's watch Moncada sniffing a base hit, or certainly a run batted in. He beats the play rather easily at first base and drives in his second run of the season.
In 12 games with the White Sox last season, how many RBIs do you think Moncada had? 0. And already 2 this season with the Angels.
2 without the benefit of getting the ball out of the infield, and there's only 2 Travises in baseball, and you're looking at both of them in the same game. Darno is going to be a good acquisition for the Angels because there's no doubt he knows how to catch, and he's going to help O'Hoppe. O'Hoppe is an offense first catcher who's a really talented guy, and I think Travis d'Arnaud is going to teach him the intricacies of what I believe is the most difficult position on the field.
Ron Washington also says he felt like O'Hoppe, who's just 25 years old, took on a little too much last season, played in a few too many games, so d'Arnaud, with his veteran presence, can give him a few more days off this season, and he can be healthy throughout the year. One ball, 2 strikes the count to the Angels catcher d'Arnaud. Changeup missing in, and it's 2-2. So the error to start the game at short allowed the door to open for the Angels, scoring 2 here in this first inning. On the ground, and Vargas will make the play at second to end the stop of the first inning. White Sox in a 2-0 hole. Bats coming up.
Ever since Bob and Sheila retired, they've been looking for ways to spice up their dinner plans. But with Home Chef, they never have to worry about the same old boring recipes. Bob and Sheila have a variety of menu options to choose from, whether it's calorie or carb conscious, gourmet picks from our culinary collection, or easy prep and quick clean-up sheet pan meals. Now dinner's its own work of art. Get 18 free meals, free shipping, and free dessert for life.
I've been holding my breath this entire inning. Panicking won't turn a pop-up into a home run. Just like stressing about tickets won't get us better seats. What about the unhinged prices? That's why I use Game Time. Prices actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. Even up to 60% off.
What time is it?
It's Game Time.
This tiny home trend, not for me. Now this is more like it. The same goes for my footwear. So I went hands-free with wide-fit Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go without bending down or touching my shoes. Wide-fit, hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Well, Venable has said he will mix and match the lineup this first week of the season to make sure the guys stay sharp coming out of spring training. So Nick Maton gets his first time at the top of the lineup, followed by Robert Benintendi Vaughn, Matt Theis behind the plate, Vargas, Baldwin, Amaya, and Travis Jankowski, his first start in right field.
Let's look at Jack Kochanowicz, and this is a guy with a pretty good sinker. 11 starts last year, the ERA at 3.99. He's not overwhelming, but he can occasionally get the fastball up there, 96, maybe 97. Average velocity just under 96. He throws a sinker a lot, backed up by a slider. He's basically a two-pitch pitcher, will occasionally put something else in there.
Nick Maton steps in for the White Sox, the DH today.
Let's take a look at the defense. This is how Ron Washington puts them out there with Ward, Paris, and Trout in the outfield left to right. Moncada, Anderson, Rengifo, and Shonawell. Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate, and we told you about Kochanowicz. Just a little high and wide.
We'll say it slipped out of his hand.
But for a sinker baller, that's obviously not what you're looking for. And he will throw a lot of double plays because he's got that heavy sinker. When he's right, you pound it right into the ground.
Kochanowicz, a young guy, just 24 years old. Maton turns on this one, high in the air to right field, looking up at the wall. Get out! How about Nick Maton, the newest White Sox, with his first home run of the season? Give that ball back. And the White Sox cut into the lead. It's 2-1 in the first.
One of the reasons why he's in the lineup is that against a right-hander with a good sinker, left-handers normally hit the low fastball very well. And Maton got out ahead of that one. The wind might have helped him a bit, but it's a great way to start the offense today. It's a 2-1 ball game, and there's nobody out here in the first inning.
On the ground up the middle, and Robert Jr. not wasting any time with a single. He takes that hard turn and will head back to the bag at first.
Let's go back to the home run. This one is right over the middle of the plate. It doesn't sink quite as much as Kochanowicz would have wanted it. And Nick Maton, good way to be greeted by the home fans, takes one out, cuts the lead in half. And Luis Robert steps right up on the next pitch, and he represents a tying run.
Andrew Benintendi has been the best hitter on the White Sox team to start this season. 2 for 6 with a home run.
Kochanowicz is difficult to steal against because he has a really short slide step. And being a guy who worked out of the bullpen, he throws everything from the stretch.
You saw on that last pitch, Robert Jr. got an extra little jump before the pitch was released. He's really timing to see how much of a lead he can get on Kochanowicz.
Well, with Kochanowicz' ability to throw ground balls, you want to stay out of the double play.
There goes Robert. And the pitch is fouled off.
I think we're going to see that a lot more. It ended the ball game yesterday. That was a hit and run with Benintendi running, and Andrew Vaughn hit it awfully hard, but hit it right at Newman. But there's no doubt that Will Venable is going to use the hit and run a lot more. He realizes, yeah, they've hit a few home runs in the early going, but this isn't a power-laden team. This is a team that's going to have to manufacture some runs.
1-1 to Benintendi. Fly ball straight away center field. Backing up is Paris at the warning track and will make the grab. Robert Jr. tagging from first. He will get to second.
That's some heads up ball, and realizing that right back by the fence, you're going to be able to get it done. And Andrew Vaughn, last time he saw Kochanowicz, he really liked what he saw. He took the ball out of the ballpark.
That was the only run the White Sox have scored on Kochanowicz last season in 14 innings pitched for Kochanowicz. Vaughn would love to get going. Starts this season 0 for 8 at the plate.
He's hit the ball hard a couple of times, but hitting it at people at this point.
Swung through that slider. So 1-1 to start the count for Andrew Vaughn.
Paris is playing a couple steps to the right of center. There's a big gap in left center field if Andrew can get out ahead of one.
White Sox all of last year did not have 2 home runs in the first inning.
No time like the present.
Let's get it. Vaughn going back is Paris. He's at the warning track again, and Robert tagging. He now advances to third with 2 down in this first inning.
Andrew continues to hit the ball pretty well, but unfortunately there's usually somebody standing there in the early going.
So Matt Thaiss, the lefty bat. Corey Lee, the righty bat. So that's why they like both of them to start the season on the roster. Delivers it into right field, and we've got a tie ball game in the first inning. Matt Thaiss with an RBI single as Robert scores.
Well, if you're looking for a different character of the entire baseball team, here's a microcosm of why things are different this year. Last year, if this team got down early, many times they never came back. This year, down 2-0. It's 2-2 as they battle back early in this one.
And how about manufacturing a run there? Luis Robert Jr. showing you that his legs are healthy. Tagged from first, went to second on a fly ball. Then tagged from second, went to third on a fly ball, and then scored on the single.
What I was most impressed with Luis Robert was after his base hit, he took that big aggressive turn. Because if you don't do that and it's juggled in the outfield, you can't get to second. And I think that's another aspect of this team we're going to see a little different this year. That guys are going to take the aggressive turn. They're going to look for the next base.
So a pitch clock violation. It'll be a ball awarded to Miguel Vargas. So the count is 1-1.
That's one of the things Kochanowicz has added is that 4-seam fastball. Being primarily a sinker baller, he wanted something that was riding up high, especially after throwing sliders. So he came up with the 4-seamer. He's not leaning on it heavily, but he has it.
1-2. Kochanowicz was a guy who was in a battle for the final spot in the rotation in spring training for the Angels. He won the job. He was originally supposed to be the 5th starter, but because of the way Kyle Hendricks shapes up with the Cardinals, Hendricks will go in the next series And Kochanowicz, the start here today. White Sox getting 2 back in the bottom half of the frame. It was Maton with a solo home run, and then the RBI single. We're all tied at 2.
At PXG, we believe you get more out of your golf clubs when you're custom fitted. This ensures that every PXG club in your bag is completely dialed in to deliver maximum performance for your swing. Golfers of every skill level should go through this process, and PXG's judgment-free fittings will make sure you're completely comfortable and satisfied. Book your fitting and see what we can do for your game. PXG, you've never played like this before, period.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for a free estimate and save 20% plus $500 off your purchase and installation. LeafGuard. Get it today, protected for life.
The Yankees are creating a stir with the torpedo bat, new and in play and successful. The first team in Major League history to homer on each of the first 3 pitches of a game. They hit 9 in that big win over the Brewers, and they've got 3 more today. Aaron Judge homered again. John and Steve, as you know, Rule 3.02 states these bats are legal. The commissioner's office chimed in, and everybody's talking about them.
Well, we saw some torpedoes in the Bronx yesterday. My goodness.
And there's a lot of teams that actually have experimented with that bat. They didn't particularly like it, but apparently the Yankees really like it.
Top of the 2 we go. All tied at 2 apiece. White Sox looking to win the opening series here this season. White Sox actually dropped their first 8 series in 2024. So this would be a good way to start the new season.
Be nice to win the first one with the Twins coming to town tomorrow for a 3-game series. Rengifo coming back from wrist surgery, but this is a guy that's an offense first infielder. They're going to play him a number of different positions, but he's got a pretty steady bat.
Cutter is in there. Count now runs full. Back-to-back seasons for Rengifo, ending the season on the injured list in 2023 and 24. Looking for a full season on the field this year. Here's a 3-2. And a walk to start this second inning. Brooke, what do you got more on the torpedo bats?
Yeah, so their analytics team with the Yankees, they discovered that some hitters were making more contact around the label of the bat rather than the barrel. So they redistributed the wood, shifting the hardest part of the bat to that area just to increase effectiveness on contact. So I asked a few of the guys in the clubhouse what their thoughts were. Andrew Vaughn said, you know, it's interesting, but at the end of the day, you still have to hit the ball. He noted the shift in weight towards the middle of the bat could affect swing and his balance. Travis Jankowski, he added that the Cubs experimented with a similar concept during his time there. He said he never found a model that felt comfortable in the cage, saying that the balance point was off, but he does get the logic behind it. But his mindset, he said, if it leads to more hits, I'm open to anything. But Connor, you know, hitters are weighing in on the offensive impact. What would this mean defensively?
Yeah, Travis mentioned that you can't trust the sound off the bat. Perhaps if the guy up is swinging a torpedo bat, that kind of crack bat sound might actually be a liner from these different bats as opposed to something that might die in front of you. John, it's Steve.
Tim Anderson, welcome back to the south side. Was 0 for 4 in the opener for him with 3 strikeouts. On the ground, Amaya another chance to start 2, get 1 at second, and Anderson will beat it out at first.
Anderson was hustling down the line. Otherwise, this is 2. And we'll take another look at Anderson, who gets a slider off the end of the bat, knowing there's going to be a play at first, and he beats it.
Kyron Paris, just 23 years old, gets the start in center field. That is because the normal starting center fielder Joe Adell left the game yesterday. He was removed with hip tightness. Adell says he's going to be okay, now listed as day-to-day, but Kyron Paris, the youngster, now gets some playing time. Back to short. This time they do turn 2 to get out of this top of the second inning.
Throwing ground balls with a runner on is always a good thing. Sox turn 2, get out of the inning, and it's tied at 2.
If you know luxury, it's not just award-winning, it's rewarding. Sadva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Sadva to friends and family. Sadva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
We do see some clouds starting to creep in. We hope they can hold off for as long as possible to get in the finale of this 3-game series.
Or in lieu of as long as possible. 4.5 with the Sox leading. Then the weather can do what it needs to do.
7, 8, 9 to start this bottom half of the second. Brooks Baldwin. One of the reasons why Baldwin made the opening day roster for the White Sox is because if some guys are still nicked up, and you've talked about his versatility. He can play all over the infield. Also, we've seen him in the outfield, a valuable utility man to start the season.
So with longtime Angel broadcaster Mark Gubiza, and he mentioned the at-bat that Baldwin had against Ben Joyce, who throws 103, 104 miles an hour. It was a great at-bat, ended with a hard ground ball to the right side, but he really battled.
How about that 1-2 punch at the end of the game for Joyce and Jansen, the setup and closer for the Angels now.
Pretty impressive. And they got another guy coming back, Robert Stevenson, who will come back from injury pretty soon. The back end of the bullpen is going to be one of the strengths of the Angels. They also have 4 of their top 5 prospects in the minor leagues are pitchers. So the next wave of young pitchers for the Angels are pretty impressive.
97 missing outside for Kochanowicz, and it's a full count now on Baldwin. Kochanowicz with the lowest strikeout rate of any pitcher last season to face at least 100 batters. Here's a 3-2, but he does get Baldwin upstairs with the high heat. Let's go to Brooke with a scoop from the clubhouse.
Yeah, John, you've talked about the different lineup combinations that Will Venable is trying to do early in this season. He told me, listen, I told the guys, don't overthink it. We just want to get everyone involved and off to a good start, and that includes mixing up the leadoff spot. They're going with Nick Maton today, obviously getting things started on the right note. The staff likes the matchup and just appreciates his competitiveness and his ability to handle fastballs. And like Steve said, that sinker. You know, Venable said he's somebody that you can always depend on. And beyond the lineup, Venable, he's been encouraged by the team's clean defense through the first few games, something that's been a major emphasis this season. But while we're talking defense, after that slow start in the infield in that first inning, Jake Amaya and Brooks Baldwin immediately went over to the infield and third base coach Justin Jershell and pulled out their defensive positioning cards. Now, what's on them varies depending on the team, but you could tell sometimes it has defensive signals, scouting reports, but you could tell they were trying to get on the same page and put them in a better position for their guy Davis Martin on the mound, guys.
Would love to clean things up on the infield as Amaya strikes out looking. And there's 2 down now here in this bottom of the second inning. So that is 3 strikeouts in a row for Kochanowicz, who's talking about his K rate, 9.4% K rate last season, lowest in the bigs. First start of the season for Travis Jankowski in the right field. Jankowski was a late pickup in the offseason for the White Sox. Actually spent the spring with the Cubs, but was not invited on that trip to Japan. Had to figure out his next move, and then he linked back up with Will Venable.
Well, we know how good the defense is, and the question will be, will he put the bat on the ball consistently enough? But Venable wanted another left-handed bat against Kochanowicz, and Jankowski was that guy.
0-2 pitch. Fly ball center field. And Paris with the catch as the White Sox are retired in order. After 2, we're all tied at 2 apiece.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
It all starts here, where baseball's next masterpiece comes to life.
Another historic chapter. This is what you've been waiting for. Aaron Judge, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., Shohei Ohtani.
It's time to unleash the colors of the 2025 season on baseball's center stage. Opening week on MLB Network, presented by Konami.
Angels scoring 2 in the top half of the first. White Sox responding with 2 in the bottom half of the first. 1 pitch, 1 out as Amaya catches the liner to start this 3rd inning.
First pitch, line drive, and Ward, who's had a good series, is retired. That ball hit hard, but right at Amaya.
Second time through the order for Davis Martin. First time up, Nolan Shonowell singled and scored, but both of those runs were unearned after the error at short to start the game. Lifted in the air, left field. Benintendi with the grab, and there's 2 quick outs. That's what we want to see. Keep this game moving because it's getting a lot darker.
Well, Davis Martin has also thrown a lot of strikes. Right now, 29 strikes, just 11 balls, and pretty much he's got good command of the strike zone.
Second at bat for Mike Trout. Got his first hit of the season, his first time up. See that new right fielder for the Angels as they're trying to preserve the body of the 3-time former MVP.
Well, they had talked about it in years past because of all the injuries that he's sustained. But he wasn't quite ready yet to move. And now feeling that if he can stay healthy, he'll move.
Hit hard right at Benintendi. And he will make the catch to end this top of the 3rd inning. Just a 6-pitch inning for Davis Martin.
Since the dawn of baseball, every player has honed their unique skills. Who from this era will prove worthy of legend? The world watches as the journey unfolds.
At MLBshop.com, you can get all the latest officially licensed merchandise for you and your family. But if you really want to level up your game, you can grab something for your dog walker, your Pilates instructor, your swim coach, your neighbor, your accountant, your gardener, your best friend, your bandmate, your boss, your kid's teacher, your mailman. Visit MLBshop.com and stock up on officially licensed on-field merchandise from your favorite teams.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Ketel Marte, he's done it one more time.
The best second baseman in the game, that's Ketel Marte.
There goes Corbin. Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
Are whipping as the winds are really starting to pick up. It is Kids Day here at the ballpark, so we will walk up Nick Maton with an incredible drawing by some of the kids from Mini Minoso Academy's 4th and 5th grade classes. I like that one.
Well, I mean, it looks just like Nick. I mean, the spitting image, it could be Nick.
All right, put it up again. I want to see it again. That's it.
Yeah, it is Nick. Could use a little more beard on the bottom side, but
they even got the chain and everything.
Yeah, 4th and 5th grade, I was drawing stick figures pretty much, so I think that's pretty impressive.
I was still trying to color between the lines. Maton got the scoring started for the Sox with his leadoff home run in the 1st inning.
It's another one of those 4-seamers, the addition to Kochanowicz and his repertoire.
One-two. In the air center field, Paris, who has been busy already. And there's one away. Your Chicago White Sox are presented by Rate, one of the top mortgage lenders in America. Proud to celebrate 125 years of Southside baseball. With next-level technology, competitive rates, and a process built for speed, the loan experts at Rate are here to make your home buying journey simple and stress-free. Rate, your home team. Get in the game at rate.com. Sakata with time and fires to first. There's 2 away here in this bottom of the 3rd inning. Let's take a look in this 125th season of baseball for the White Sox. Franchise leaders. Jimmy Dykes leads the way with managerial wins. Frank Thomas, you know he's going to be up there. And at the bottom in ERA, Eddie Seacott with 2.22.
Bobby Thigpen with over 200 saves. Andrew's been swinging it really well in the early going. Last year, we know a tough first half, a very good second half. Looking to put together 2 great halves this year.
Slider off the plate, called for ball 1.
That backdoor slider, right-hand pitcher to left-hand hitter, is really effective because hitters have a tendency to give up on it, only to see it snap over the outside corner. That one, however, just missed wide.
I will say this umpire crew has done a very nice job calling balls and strikes so far.
We haven't seen one appeal, I don't believe, at this point, and we're into the 3rd game of the season.
1 in the first game. Yeah, the play at first.
No, I'm talking about balls and strikes.
Right. Tim Anderson will make the play at short, and the Sox retired in order to end this 3rd inning. We stay tied 2 apiece.
That's a great baseball comment, and good guess, by the way. Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
It's time for Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Give the kids in your community a chance to flex their superpowers, and they could earn a trip to the national finals at the 2025 World Series presented by Capital One. So go ahead, be the one who powers their dreams, and sign up to host a local Pitch, Hit, and Run event. It's a free and fun way to promote baseball, softball, and your organization. To learn more, go to pitchhitrun.com.
That starting rotation, it doesn't get better than that. Dominating night from Logan Gilbert.
Trying to be out there and take the ball as much as I can.
Swing and a miss against Luis Castillo.
It's wipeout stuff.
He's a legit ace. Talk about depth the Mariners really have.
What a masterpiece from George Kirby.
Just trying to go out there and give my team the best chance to win.
Julio Rodriguez is an absolute superstar out there in center field.
Go by zone Julio.
Once I go, I just want to have everything ready.
The guy's dangerous.
Julio!
Sun is actually making another appearance here as we start this 4th inning.
It's going to pop in and out, and hopefully the weather will stay really nice for 8.5.
Four, 5, 6 of the Angels lineup to start this 4th inning is Jorge Soler. What do you think of that new changeup so far for Davis Martin, the one that you just see just kind of dive off the table?
Well, for him, it's very comfortable because he said after the Tommy John surgery, he didn't have enough to make it go away from left-hand hitters. And because of that, he's releasing it off his middle finger, which takes it straight down instead of side-to-side movement. So he's very comfortable with it.
He says he's now a supernator. He's never really been a pronator, and it's actually more pronounced because of that. Tommy John actually shifted the angle of his forearm.
Yeah, and you mix that in with the good slider that he has, and what we've seen today, I mean, he's been up to 97 on the fastball. So the stuff is really good, and there's a few. I talked to a few scouts before the game today, and they were very impressed with him.
Changeup misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Soler.
That's one of the biggest differences in the game and in Davis Martin's game. The changeup is 91, 2 or 3. You usually don't see that from a change.
Slider, did he go? No, says Alex McKay at first base.
We'll look at it from the side. This is what McKay saw. I think it was a good call. I think he checked it up.
2-2. Got him on that changeup. Filthy new pitch for Davis Martin.
93 miles an hour, and then it goes straight down. So you don't really need a lot of side to side if you do it that way. And releasing it off his middle finger, it's a 2-finger change, and he releases it off the middle finger, which gets it to move straight down.
He says he discovered that pitch from Brian Bannister, who's the director of pitching for the White Sox, and Ethan Katz, who's the pitching coach. They wanted him to just kind of experiment with some things, and they gave him this new grip to try out and just kind of throwing it just regular, just toss. He said the first 2 times it didn't really feel comfortable, but the 3rd time, that's when he noticed that downward action. So then he got in the bullpen, used that same grip, and time after time it was just diving off the table, and all 3 of them looked at each other and they knew they had something special.
Well, I think the pitching aspect of this coaching staff, including Brian Bannister, Ethan Katz is one of the top pitching coaches in the major leagues, and I think that we're going to see vast improvement in a lot of the young pitchers that the Sox have, because when you're looking at one strength of the organization, it is young pitching, and that used to be the most difficult thing to assemble, but these days you're able to get it a little bit easier than you can power hitters. I think that everybody is looking to add power to their team.
Moncada fouls off another pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Could also tell Davis Martin had something special coming into the season. When you looked at his 2nd spring training start, it was against the Dodgers, who had made all those moves in the offseason. Threw 2 perfect innings with 3 strikeouts, including a strikeout of Shohei Ohtani. Down the left field line, long run there for Benintendi, and foul.
Fortunately, it's sliced foul. Jim Wolf on the call.
But you strike out Shohei Ohtani in spring training, and I know it's just spring training. Davis Martin, his confidence is at an all-time high right now.
Well, it's very difficult to put together great numbers in spring training if the spring training is in Arizona. It's high skies, rock hard infield, and well, that does look a little like Davis Martin's older brother if he had one.
Connor, what do you got?
Let's take a look at some news and notes. We start in Boston, where, as you know, Alex Bregman now has 3rd base. Rafael Devers has a lot of strikeouts, 10 in the first 3 games. Nobody's ever done that before. In a stunner, the Dodgers are good again, 5-0. Really surprised about that one. And how about Antonio Senzatella? 9 hits in 4 1/3 innings, no runs, no strikeouts. Nobody's done that since 1922. Steve, you tell me, as a pitcher, can you scatter 9 hits in 4 1/3 innings? Do we call that scattering hits?
Connor, that's exactly what I was going to say, but you said it first, you little weasel.
Oh, man.
Yes, apparently it is possible to scatter 9 hits, although you don't want to make that a habit.
Travis d'Arnaud, his 2nd at bat of the season. d'Arnaud signed a 2-year, $12 million deal in the offseason. And he said he works closely in tandem with Logan O'Hoppe. Any conversation he has with a pitcher, he's going to quickly share that with O'Hoppe, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Well, that's one of the reasons they brought him over. It was kind of the same thing, the reason why the Sox brought in Martin Maldonado to work with Corey Lee. You got a young catcher in O'Hoppe who's an offense first. The catcher has to be, he doesn't have to be all defense, but it really helps if you really understand the position, and d'Arnaud does.
Grounder up the middle. Davis Martin might have went off his hand. Stepping on second over to first is Baldwin. And a double play is turned. I hope it didn't affect Davis Martin because he thought about it.
Well, I believe it's going to be a 1-4-3 double play, and a double play ends the inning. And
If you're a Rockies fan, they've got some young talent. Pretty dynamic, everyday position club.
Starting to see some young guys with some serious talent. There's some speed and there's some pop.
I always keep a little chip on my shoulder.
He made the catch.
Crazy range, rocket arm.
They just need to have some guys that have breakout years. There's potential there to have that.
They're going to be competitive in every game.
Create your play.
Go further.
Wait, this might work.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Mira esto. What the?
The fun this young man has playing baseball.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Marte! He's done it one more time!
The best second baseman in the game, that's Marte.
There goes Corbin. Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
Welcome back, Andrew Vaughn.
The Braves have stayed.
So you know what time it is. It's time to get to know him a little bit better with Know Your Socks. I asked him the last thing he Googled. Well, he said, my address to my new place here in Chicago. People often forget the quick turnaround from spring training. Takes a minute to settle in. I asked him, what's something you can't do but wish you did? Well, he answered really quickly. He said, I wish I could run faster. And a superpower he absolutely shouldn't have. He said flying, because he would fly to Alaska and never leave and just fish the rest of his life. And honestly, guys, I kind of respect that. I bet fishing is really nice up there and it's very calm.
Knocked down by Moncada, throw to first, and he takes a hit away from Vaughn, who is still hitless to start this season.
Andrew continues to hit the ball hard. Unfortunately, there's usually somebody there, and with Moncada, if he's moving, he's going to make a perfect throw. He was moving to his left, and he's a really good defensive third baseman.
All right, how about another drawing from the youngsters at Minnie Minoso Academy's 4th and 5th grade classes. This is of Matt Theis. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
It does. I think it's
right?
very good.
Yeah. Nice job. Theis with an RBI single, his first time up. Tied the game at 2 apiece in the first inning. And he is the last White Sox to get on board, as 8 straight have now been retired by Kochanowicz.
Sinker ballers do get a bit better as they move along. That ball starts to sink more.
Chris Siegel is not going to give you off the plate today. His strike zone's been pretty true.
We've seen some pretty nice pitching in the early going. Guys going 6 and 7 innings that they didn't do that last year.
Outside again, 3 balls and a strike. Now, we saw the ABS challenge system tested in spring training. And you can think a lot of the umpires, they're going to be held a lot of scrutiny this season, because they're not going to have balls and strikes challenged during the regular season. But Major League Baseball is going to compile the data that we could potentially see the ABS system used in regular season next year.
I think we're going to see it next year. It was seamless in spring training. It was quick, obviously very accurate, and so that's all you're looking for.
Swing and a miss on that fastball, strike 3. It is time now for a message from Powering Chicago.
At Powering Chicago, we build more than electrical infrastructure, we build the future. Our trained, qualified, diverse workforce knows electricity. Partner with Powering Chicago and build better construction, better careers, and better communities for generations to come.
Not only was ABS Challenge quick, but also so transparent. Everyone in the ballpark got a chance to see it in spring training on the big screen in live time. As Vargas serves this one into center. And Parrish retires the White Sox in order again. Time now for some American Sale fun at home.
If you're a Rockies fan, they've got some young talent. Pretty dynamic, everyday position club.
Starting to see some young guys with some serious talent. There's some speed and there's some pop.
I mean, I always keep a little chip on my shoulder.
He made the catch.
Crazy range, rocket arm.
They just need to have some guys that have breakout years. There's potential there to have that.
They're going to be competitive in every game.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
Deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecue.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players.
Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch one.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
Download the Chicago Sports Network app so you can stream live White Sox games and stay up to date on all your favorite Chicago sports teams. Download the CHSN app and stream today.
Oh, we got some ponchos going on. On the ground on the right side. Baldwin will make the play. One down to start this fifth inning. So Davis Martin threw 25 pitches in the first inning, but he's been a lot more economical since. How would you assess his performance?
Well, I love the fact that he has another weapon in that straight change that he's using pretty well, and more times than not he's throwing strikes today. So that's really what every pitcher is looking for. Work quickly, throw strikes, and throw as many ground balls as humanly possible.
Second at bat for Tim Anderson, former White Sox. 0 for 1. Had a great conversation with Angels manager Ron Washington about Tim Anderson. And he said when Anderson was signed, nobody really thought he was even going to be ready to play opening day. But because Anderson is so locked in mentally and has done so much preparation, he did everything he could to get ready and to make this opening day roster for the Angels. And he is really excited about what he can do for the team this season.
The real test is when Neto comes back, because he's going to come back in the not too distant future, and he's their everyday shortstop.
Vargas, couple hops, the throw to first. 2 away here in this fifth inning. Take advantage of one of our best offers this season. Get 1 ticket and 2 beers to select games starting at $19 with Miller Lite Baseball and Brews. You got to be 21 and over with a valid ID. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. Another play for Vargas at third. And Davis Martin, a 1-2-3 fifth inning. He is getting better and better as this game goes on.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
High, deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecue.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players.
Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch one.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
I'm Jesse's uncertainty, and I really thought house projects were my time to shine. One little, are you sure? He gets stuck before he even got started. But Jesse's changed. Because of Thumbtack. With their guides, he knows exactly what to do and who to hire. And his house is looking great. Where does that leave me?
Uncertainty doesn't live here. You do. Take care of your home with Thumbtack. Download the app today.
Follow our Chicago White Sox on the Chicago Sports Network, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at jeffvuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
Brooks Baldwin not waiting around to deliver that one into right field. Starts off this bottom of fifth with a single. Got another drawing from Minnie Minoso Academy's 4th and 5th grade classes. This one of Jacob Amaya. There is some detail to this one. That's next level.
No, that's really good. That does look like him. It looked like he was posing for that. And there's some of the kids in attendance. Budding artists, no doubt.
There goes Baldwin, hit and run, and he's going to get doubled off just like yesterday. A double play to start this bottom of the 5th inning.
I love the fact that Will Venable broke this out, the hit and run. Amaya hits the daylights out of it, but unfortunately Rengifo right there. And if you're Baldwin in that situation, pretty much there's nothing you can do. You're not going to get in a rundown. He's going to flip to first, and it's an easy double play.
Jankowski shows bunt, takes strike one. For Sox fans not familiar with Travis Jankowski, was with the Texas Rangers last season. Was inserted late into a game in left field and robbed that home run from Andrew Vaughn, which would have been a walk-off. And now he joins the Southsiders.
Yeah, that was one of the finer plays you'll see, because it was kind of a backhand reach well over the fence and able to bring it back into the field of play.
Speaking of the play, let's flash it back, Steve.
Look at this effort. He grabbed the fence first, then reaches over on the backhand and makes the play. Andrew Vaughn can't believe it. Actually, nobody could at that point. That was magnificent.
I'd say he owes us one now that he's on this side.
Be nice to see him hit one out. If he gets one up in the air, it'll go today.
No 2 pitch. Listed to left. And Ward underneath. We'll end this 5th inning. All the scoring was done early. It's tied at 2 apiece.
We got our hands up in the air, 'cause it's a party. We having fun here, 'cause it's a party. Oh my, this guy is next level. Oh, my goodness.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Play baseball like I'm still a young kid, like a little teenager.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
Right this second, at some diner somewhere,
I'll have a...
someone really wants a soda. But that same someone doesn't want to be like the only someone to order a soda. Embarrassing. Yeah, she's looking at you.
Yeah, I know the struggle is real, honey, but so are all these other...
What if there were a better soda?
Hun, get a Poppy. It's a soda with 5 grams of sugar.
Okay. Okay, so this waitress is a genius.
Can I get one, too?
How to play it smart on the south side. Celebrate responsibly. Designate a sober driver or use a ride share. If you feel different, you drive different. It's not a game.
Something you don't like to see is the sod father, Roger Bossard, going out talking with the umpires. That means that there's some weather in the area.
Well, if Martin can hold the Angels here and the Sox get another run, that was all we would need if the weather comes through. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Third time through the order as Taylor Ward starts it off at the top for the Angels. And Martin, it feels like he's in a groove right here.
He gave up a couple hits in the first inning, and that has been it.
Trout got that single in the first inning. That was the last hit for the Angels. Since then, just a couple of walks. Martin trying to get this leadoff hitter in the 6th. And Ward aligned the left center field gap. And he'll start the 6th inning with a single. All right, let's take a trip down on the farm. Connor, what's going on in the minor leagues?
Early going, but good returns for Kyle Teal, one of the top prospects in the White Sox system. A couple of homers in his first 2 games, 6 ribby in yesterday's game. And this was the question about Kyle. Last season, an 852 OPS in AA, 717 in AAA. Would it transfer so far for the White Sox? It very much has. And that's a good thing to get going, John and Steve.
Love to see guys like Kyle Teal, Colson Montgomery with a good start to the season in AAA.
This has been an organization that hasn't developed catchers particularly well, but now there are 4 young guys that can really catch. And catching depth is very important.
Cutter in there, strike one, 1-1 count to Nolan Kochanowicz. The first baseman is 1 for 2 today.
This is where Davis Martin really would like to throw a ground ball. Kochanowicz doesn't have blazing speed.
There's the ground ball. This could be 2. Baldwin bobbles it, does get 1 at second, but because of the bobble, not able to turn 2.
That's something we saw a lot last year, and this year, if there's a chance to turn 2, you've got to turn 2. They're going to get 4 outs this inning, and we'll see if Davis Martin can pitch his way out of that. He was pretty much assured it was going to be 2. It just wasn't.
Third at bat here for Mike Trout. And there's a lot of parallel between what Mike Trout is doing to what one of the Angels greats, Torrey Hunter, did back when he shifted from center field to right field in 2010. Popped up foul territory. Vaughn is over there in front of the Angels dugout, but out of play.
The wind kept taking that one. It looked like it was going to stay in play, but then kept drifting away from Andrew. Without that heavy wind, that's an out.
One to Trout. That changeup does catch a piece. Count is now 1-2. So when Torrey Hunter made the shift in 2010, he'd already won 9 Gold Gloves in center field, but he was 34 years old towards the back end, trying to preserve his body. Mike Trout now is 33 years old, making that shift. So similar ages. And Torrey Hunter was actually around in spring training a lot, helping Mike Trout just kind of get his feet set, just getting him on the angles, new jumps on balls. As Torrey Hunter is still around the Angels team, he's a special assistant to the general manager now. One, two.
Well, Torrey Hunter had something that is very difficult to learn, and some guys never have that kind of personality. He was a team leader almost from the beginning. He was one of the leaders of the Minnesota Twin, very good teams, and carried it over when he became an Angel.
Torrey Hunter's actually done really well for himself as a businessman. In commercial real estate, he runs a couple companies, now trying to get back into baseball. And different kinds of businesses. Well, has a skincare line, coffee shops, restaurant chain. Torrey Hunter, next time I see him, I might have to ask him a few questions about some business ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you can combine them all in one place.
Slider down out of the zone, and it's now full to Mike Trout. Right field. And Jankowski squeezes out number 2. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek, Chicago, Southland, where the action never stops. You can play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Is that something big leaguers ask you and get your advice about when they hang things up? Because I always hear about the transition from playing time to figuring out what that next stage in life is for so many big leaguers. Soler, center field, backing up Robert Jr. and it's going to be over his head. It'll one hop, get over the wall, out of play. So fortunate for the White Sox that Kochanowicz will have to stay at third base.
That's really a great break, because he scores easily if this one stays in the park. So there's a slider that didn't quite have the same bite on it, and Soler, who's awfully strong, crushes it. I'd be very careful here with Moncada with first base open. You've got Darno coming up next.
Well, you know, with all the boo birds Moncada has heard so far this series, he's going to want to do something special. He had the game-winning RBI yesterday.
I mean, there's always a lot of incentive against the team that let you go. So this is a big sequence for Davis Martin.
Second and third, 2 out here in this top of the 6th. One ball, one strike to count. The pitch from Martin is up out of the zone, ball 2.
He's going to most likely try to get Moncada out upstairs. And you still have to pitch knowing that First base is unoccupied.
So for the first time today, the White Sox bullpen just started to get going with Frazier Ellard.
Davis Martin at the 90 pitch mark. So right now it's more labor intensive than any of the other two starters.
2-2. Look at that roar from Davis Martin. Gets the strikeout to get out of the jam.
Good straight change for strike three. This one dives out of the zone. Moncada over the top. The game stays tied at
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tip pick.
What did you say?
Tip pick. Tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
Upgrade your game day with this 20-ticket premium flex pack, where luxury meets the thrill of the ballpark. Enjoy all-inclusive food and open bar, exclusive post-game lounge access, and private restrooms. Pick the games you want to see and never have to miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit whitesox.com/premium or call or text 312-674-1000.
Top of the order, and the Sox looking for at least one.
Maton had a good start to the ballgame with a solo home run, as he is DHing to start things off top of the order. 2-0. Big swing and a miss on that sinker from Kochanowicz.
I'd like to see a swing like that at 2-0. The hitter is well ahead of the pitcher. That's the time to let it all go. You don't have to have any semblance of a defensive swing. Just think about doing some damage when you're that far ahead of the pitcher.
Well, Kochanowicz has been in control since that first inning. He had retired 10 in a row at one point up until the single from Baldwin back in the fifth.
He doesn't have a walk yet. Broadcaster jinx. That was out of the zone, and unfortunately Nick decided to expand that zone. Good movement on the sinker. It looked like a strike for a while.
Trout doesn't have to move much in right for this one. All right, if you're just joining us, let's get you caught up on how we got here at 2-2. After an error, the Angels put up 2 unearned runs in the first inning.
And unfortunately, the Sox were down, but they weren't down for long because of the home run by Maton and a line drive base hit by Theis. Tied at 2-2 after one. That's where we sit.
On the ground over the middle, backhanded. And a nice play at second by Rengifo.
That was an excellent play against a guy who can run real well. Rengifo, not necessarily known for his defense, but he can play a lot of different positions, and they like his bat a lot.
Andrew Benintendi 0 for 2. Fly out, ground out.
And if you're Benintendi here, you've had a couple of pretty good at bats, but with 2 on, 2 out, nobody on, you're thinking about hitting the ball out of the park.
Oh, it looked like it on that swing.
He likes high fastballs. That one just a little too high for him.
One ball, one strike, the count to Benintendi with 2 down here in this bottom of the 6th inning. Fly ball left field. And Ward squeezes. After 6, we're all tied at 2 apiece on Kids Day at the ballpark.
At PXG, we believe you get more out of your golf clubs when you're custom fitted. This ensures that every PXG club in your bag is completely dialed in to deliver maximum performance for your swing. Golfers of every skill level should go through this process, and PXG's judgment-free fittings will make sure you're completely comfortable and satisfied. Book your fitting and see what we can do for your game. PXG, you've never played like this before, period.
It's a great night for baseball. This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names. Here we go. Buckle up, folks. There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight. The bats have come alive. A showstopper. We're just playing Powerball. This place doesn't know what hit them. These teams are entertaining, are they not? The show continues.
Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game. Post-game. And everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
BTV. Redeem now through April 1st at T-Mobile.com/MLB. We got a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Bryce Wilson, who we saw yesterday for an inning. Gave up a couple of hits, but threw a scoreless inning.
Wilson will face 6, 7, 8 in the Angels lineup to start the 7th inning.
That time he fell off the mound to the first base side, and he wanted to make a bit of an adjustment.
Looks like his footing was a little better there as he throws a strike. 1-1 the count.
You come in as a reliever, and there's a few pitchers ahead of you that make that landing spot a little different than yours normally.
He was unhappy with himself on that one after spiking it.
He's still working on adjusting that mound, and that's something you want to make sure that you do usually during your warm-up pitches.
We can tell when the landing spot is clear for him and he feels good with his lower half. He can throw strikes. 2-2. But strikes have never really been an issue for Wilson. He said one of the things he's working on in the offseason, he would like to develop more of a swing and a miss pitch to put guys away. 3-2. Fly ball center field. Robert Jr. drifting back at the warning track. And it'll stay in the ballpark for the first out here in the 7th inning.
Let's take a look at the bullpen the first couple of games. It was a total of 7 innings, 6 hits, a couple of earned runs, but 9 strikeouts, which you love to see out of your pen. Just 3 walks. So by and large, the bullpen has been pretty good. The starting pitching has been magnificent. Starting pitching has not given up an earned run in 3 games.
Rengifo's 0 for 1, walked in his first at bat in the 2nd. Wilson, one of the many new faces on this White Sox team, signed in the offseason to a 1-year deal. He was with the Milwaukee Brewers last season. As the bullpen was one of the focuses of the front office. A lot of new faces, new lefties especially. Line drive left field. And Benintendi with the 2nd out. Celebrate 125 years of White Sox history. You can enjoy exclusive giveaways highlighting milestones from the 1900 debut of the iconic 2005 championship. Don't miss this season-long tribute to White Sox legends and unforgettable moments. For more information and to secure your tickets, visit whitesox.com/125. Well, we're certainly fortunate enough that the weather has allowed us to get here to the 7th inning.
You certainly would like to see a run or 2 in the 7th. First things first, you'd love to see Bryce get out of this one with Anderson and allow Paris to lead off next inning, not Ward, who's had a really good series.
Tim Anderson looking for his first hit this season. He is 0 for 6.
I think St. Louis is a good place to get that first hit because that's what they're going next against the Cardinals.
That one just missed him with that curveball. Two down here in the top of the 7th. And that changeup just froze Anderson. Strike 3 called. It is time to stretch. All tied at 2.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
Deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecued.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players.
Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch 1.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
MLB The Show 25, take 3.
What's up, guys? I'm Eli De La Cruz.
This is Paul Skeens.
Gunnar Henderson here. I am super excited to be sharing the cover of MLB The Show 25.
But we're gonna play for real?
This is the fun part right here. It's a huge honor to be on the cover with 2 great athletes.
Welcome to the show.
That's a wrap.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
opportunity to talk to Roger Botzer and the grounds crew. When he is in the camera wall, guys, it is never a good sign. We expected some rain in the area, but it's been able to hold out here. He said he's expecting something in the next 15 minutes, so you better grab your umbrella. Well, I guess I should grab my umbrella. You guys are okay up there in the booth.
It has gotten considerably darker, and we take a look at the wind here in the ballpark.
Yeah, you can tell that it is gusting. Looks like a nice fly ball would fit really well here as the Sox looking for at least one run. It's been a whale of a game so far. It's been a good series, and the Sox got behind early and fought their way back, and we'll see if they can do something here in the seventh.
You'd think they need a run here, especially with the way the skies look and the weather coming through the area right now.
Well, hopefully that is the case. At least one, possibly two. You can see the wind very much a factor. Time for Andrew Vaughn to catch a break because he's hit the ball pretty well, doesn't have anything to show for it. And this would be a really nice time to get one up in the air toward left or left center field.
Andrew Vaughn will face the hard-throwing Ryan Zefferjan. Another drawing from the youngsters at Mini Minoso Academy.
That's pretty good also.
I like that one as well. And it looks like the skies have started to open up as we do have some rain beginning to fall here at Rate Field.
Well, when Roger tells you that something will be here within 15 minutes, you can pretty much take that to the bank.
0-2 the count on Andrew Vaughn. Zefferjan, the reliever, was acquired at the trade deadline last year from the Red Sox. He can touch 100 miles per hour with his fastball cutter combo. Goes with the sweeper to get the strikeout to start this bottom of the seventh.
It's a good hard slider. It dips out of the zone, and Andrew Vaughn down on strikes. Kochanowicz was very good. 6 innings, a couple of runs on 4 hits. He didn't walk anybody. He fanned 4 and leaves with a no decision.
Matt Thaiss will take strike 1. As the White Sox desperately need a run here to break this tie in case weather puts a halt to this game. Puts a charge into one in center field. Backing up is Parrish at the wall, and it's going to go off the bottom of the center field wall. Matt Thaiss trying to make something happen. A 1-out double here in the 7th.
And the question here for Will Venable is, does he bring in a pinch runner for Thaiss, who has a couple of base hits, including a run batted in? He almost took that one out of the ballpark. Paris with very good speed couldn't get back in time. This was right down the middle, about thigh high, and Thaiss hit the daylights out of it. Paris can't get to it, and he represents the go-ahead run.
So Thaiss will stay in the game to run at second, and Miguel Vargas at the plate. Cutter might have caught a piece there. The White Sox getting a break called ball 1. Steve, Zefferjan is one of those guys who has learned that you always like to say, it's not the art of throwing, it's the art of pitching, and he thought he would fast track his way through the minors throwing 101 miles per hour. He said, I quickly had to realize it wasn't about showing off. I had to use my other stuff to get to the big leagues.
Well, that slider is pretty good. So he's using a slider, he's using a cutter, he's got the big fastball, as we know. But you make a mistake, and those guys with the bats in their hands usually hit it hard.
I mean, I remember the days when 95 was considered really hard. Nowadays, even Zephyr John said it, hitters are used to seeing 100 miles per hour, so it's not the shock value anymore. You've got to show them something different. Two-two.
Well, there's two ways to get hitters out. One is velocity, the other is location. And if the velocity is always the same, you can only get them out with location. Now the wind and the rain is really coming down, and now we're going to see a halt to this game with the go-ahead run at second base.
Well, we knew it was only a matter of time. The weather was predicted to come through at some point during gameplay, and it will happen here in the bottom of the 7th inning with one out, as the grounds crew gets the tarp on the field, as things have really picked up and the rain's coming down a lot harder.
Well, even before the game, Roger was saying that we're going to be fine until around 2:30. Well, as it turned out, it was around 2:45, and all of a sudden the animals have started pairing up.
It'll be Theis at second base if we're able to resume play. But you could tell there was some urgency. White Sox understanding with the skies getting darker, somehow needed to break the tie in the 7th inning.
Well, I would say one way or the other, as you see some hail coming down, one way or the other, this game will resume. Now, we're not going to tell you just exactly when it will be, but the Angels don't come to town again. The last thing you want to do is take up an off day. And trying to get the tarp on now is going to be really difficult, because with heavy winds, and there's really heavy winds, not to mention hail and a number of other things, it's not easy for the grounds crew.
Welcome to the weather in the Windy City, where one day could be sunny, 70 degrees, and the next day you were getting hail and the wind whipping across the tarp.
Well, in 2 innings it can be sunny and everything is nice, and all of a sudden it looks like the world is coming to an end.
I just hope we don't have the tarp monster swallow somebody up, because they're still trying to get it to cover the infield.
Yeah, it's going to take, it has taken a whole lot of rain where Andrew Vaughn does his work, that around first base. But when the rain stops, Roger and his crew will be able to get things together relatively quickly, and hopefully the rain stops in the not too distant future.
Because to your point, the Angels do not play the Cubs in Chicago. They play the Cubs at home this year in Anaheim. So, you know, the Angels do not want to make another trip to Chicago at some point this season.
No, and neither team wants that to happen. So we're far enough along in this game where I'm sure we'll see a resolution to it one way or the other. We can't tell you just exactly when that will be, but it will be. They will get this game in.
Normally does not take this much time to get the tarp on, but the wind is causing so much havoc that the right side of the infield.
And there's another factor, and it happened so quickly that guys didn't have a chance to get ready, and all of a sudden it was go get 'em, boys. And with a heavy wind, it's really difficult for the grounds crew. So we're seeing a Lake first base. Other than that, a lot of the infield is covered.
Also, the umpires, I feel like, stopped this game at the appropriate time, because yes, the rain had started, but as soon as the sky really opened up, they immediately shut things down so that nobody was going to get hurt or injured.
Well, when you see Roger, and Brooke mentioned it, you see Roger in the well over there, you realize that something's coming pretty quickly, and that's exactly what happened.
So the grounds crew continues to try to work out the kinks with that tarp.
Well, you see what they're doing. I mean, they're laying there trying with everything they have to pull that so that they can bring it the other way also.
We heard from Brooke earlier when she talked to the sod father, Roger Bossert, and there he is on the front lines, trying to make sure they can cover the field before it takes any more water.
Well, they've got home plate covered. Now they're going to cover up the pitcher's mound, which has been exposed to this point. The first base area does look a bit like a lake, but that's easily remedied.
But to your point, this was a very fast moving storm that came through. We saw a little drizzle, then all of a sudden it was, whoa, run for cover as the fans made their way to the concourse and the grounds crew scrambled as fast as they could to try to untangle this thing. But then the wind, as they were trying to get the tarp on the field, wrapped it all together, and that's why they're still unable to cover the first base side of the infield.
Yeah, they still can't move it. They will eventually get together and cover that area. But again, it's a small part of the infield, not most of it. And when we do resume play, with only the 5th hit of the ball game for the Sox, the go-ahead run is going to be in scoring position. It's Matt Thaiss is going to be at second base. He's driven in a run. He's got 2 hits today, so it's been a very productive day for the former Angel.
Now, depending on how long this delay lasts, you would assume that the reliever who is in the game, Ryan Zefferjohn, will probably not come back into this game. Is that correct?
Well, again, it depends on how long it lasts.
Right.
I don't know exactly, but we'll have to see. And we don't know about him. There's some guys that it really doesn't affect. You can have up to an hour delay, and the guy will still come back out. Other guys, once it's delayed at all, they're not going to come back with near the same stuff they had before it started. So, again, Ron Washington will know that. And we'll see what he decides to do. But first things first, somewhere along the line, they're going to have to get the covering on the infield, something they have been unable to do to this point.
This is the rubber match of this opening 3-game series against the Angels for the White Sox. White Sox dropped the first 8 series of the season back in 2024. Would love to get 2025 started with a win. They took game 1. Angels took game 2 1-0. And we are all tied at 2 apiece here in this bottom of the 7th inning in the middle of a rain delay here at Rate Field.
On the scoreboard, it says the National Weather Service has just issued a severe weather warning for the Chicago and Chicagoland area. Well, it's more than a warning at this point. It's here.
The warning was the dark sky. Now it is here in full effect. As the fans asked to get cover. All right, we are officially in a delay here at Rate Field. In the meantime, we will bring you the White Sox podcast, and we will have another update for you at 3:30. Until then, enjoy the White Sox podcast.
Now about 20-25 minutes ago went out and felt that there were some spots that weren't playable quite yet, and then Roger and his crew went out there. They attended to those spots, and now the field is playable. This has great drainage, as any Roger Bossert field does. So we're going to play some baseball, and when we pick it up, we're going to be in the bottom of the 7th inning. But the Sox have a chance to go ahead because they have a runner in scoring position and only 1 out.
All right, let's get you caught up on where we stand. 2-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Started off in that first inning. After the error at short, the Angels scored 2 unearned runs to take a 2-0 lead.
Davis Martin was very good. He gave up a pair, and that's a double play that was not made. And so the Sox had some work to do, and Nick Maton came up and cut the lead in half with a bomb to lead it off.
It was 2-1 at that point. Then Matt Thaiss drove in the second run of the ball game in the bottom half of the first inning, tied the game at 2-2, and then Davis Martin, he settled it nicely on the mound.
He went 6, gave up no earned runs. The Sox have gone 3 straight starters going at least 5 innings in the opening start of the season without giving up an earned run for the first time in their history.
Thaiss with that double in the bottom of the 7th inning, and then that's when the rain came. We actually had hail at one point.
It did, and the rain came down very hard, and because of the ferocious winds, they couldn't get the tarp entirely on the field. And you can see it took a lot of water around first base, but they've eliminated that. It was raining as hard as it could rain. Roger and his crew went out there, but unfortunately, because of the winds, they couldn't get the tarp completely on. And they've done a great job of getting things back together again and getting this field in playing condition.
How about Roger on the front line? He's there pulling the tarp with the squeegee. He is hands-on with his crew. They are the best in the business. And the umpires have made their way back out onto the field. Yeah, I think Roger needed a hug after all that.
Well, he worked very hard, and you won't see a guy do more than Roger does with this ground crew, because he's out there doing everything he can to make sure that the field is in the best possible condition to resume baseball, and we will have baseball here in the not too distant future.
Shout out to the fans who have stuck it out as we come up on almost a 3-hour rain delay. This is game 3 in this deciding game of the 3-game series to open the season for the White Sox. Sox won game 1. Angels won game 2 yesterday, 1-0. And this is the rubber match with a new pitcher on the mound for the Angels.
A pitcher that we saw yesterday, and Ben Joyce has a big fastball. He can get it up there to 105 miles an hour. Now the only question is, will he get it over the plate? That's to be answered, because he's going to inherit the go-ahead run at second base.
This is the new 1-2 combo for the Angels. Joyce is the setup man, and Kenley Jansen the new closer for the Angels. We saw them both yesterday.
You can see an ERA just over 2, and they envision somewhere down the line Joyce is going to be their closer. Kenley Jansen, a veteran guy with a whole lot of saves, and still a very good pitcher, as we saw yesterday. But their future is Ben Joyce, and they're going to ease him into that role slowly, probably not this year. But when it is over for Kenley Jansen, Ben Joyce will be their guy.
Now, we weren't sure we would see Joyce today because he's only pitched on consecutive days twice all of last season. So here he is to open the season pitching on consecutive days.
I was saying, probably early enough in the season where they don't worry about the workload at this point.
All right, we are back to resuming play. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out. It'll be Thaiss on at second base, and Miguel Vargas at the plate facing Ben Joyce. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. And a walk for Vargas.
These two guys matched up yesterday in what was a great at bat for Baldwin. A lot of foul balls. He went deep in the count, eventually grounding out very hard to first base. But at least he got some good swings at a guy that is not all that easy to hit.
So the rain delay officially 2 hours and 48 minutes as we are back underway. Brooks Baldwin takes that one, and it gets past the catcher. Both runners will advance. And the Sox in business here in the bottom of the 7th.
We'll take another look. This one did not hit the dirt before it got by d'Arnaud. So now 2 men in scoring position, and the Sox are out of a double play situation.
So both those runners on base are credited to Zephyr John, including the walk.
And that might have torn up d'Arnaud's glove. That's one of the reasons why it might have gotten by, because he's going in now to, looks like, get a new glove.
All right, let's go down to Brooke, who has the hero of the hour.
Roger, man, he needs a big pat on the back, man, because you have been working so hard. Just take me through. I know the tarp was giving you guys a little bit of trouble there. What's that scramble like when you have weather hit you this quickly?
You know what? I've had some trying times in my career. 8 inches of snow before opening day, stuff like that. This one takes the cake. I don't ever remember hail while I'm pulling the tarp, and I use close to 4 tons of drying compound. I'm so proud of the crew. The great job they did. We all hung together, and everything turned out well.
You mentioned the hail, the rain, also the wind. What's the most challenging when you're dealing with conditions like this?
It's always the wind. You know what? Actually, I pulled my shoulder probably 30 years ago trying to hold the tarp down. So that's what groundkeepers do. But we got the game in, and that's all that counted. Everybody, the guys on the Angel side were very happy. Perry was happy, the general manager. So we're ready to go, ready to finish this game.
As you guys were getting, close to coming back, I saw you were looking at the first baseline and the third. What are you looking for once the rain stops?
Yeah, you know what? We were concerned about the runners. As far as the positions, there was not much of a problem. It's the runners. You know, they got guys, they're heavy, they got big feet, and you can't afford to have someone slip and break an ankle or hurt themselves. So those were the spots that were the most important to us.
They don't call you the sod father for nothing, Roger. Roger, thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Pop up left side, shallow left. Ward is coming on, calling everybody off, and it's not going to be deep enough to score the run. So there's the second out here in the 7th inning. White Sox desperately looking to break the tie here in the 7th, and they're going to leave it up to a pinch hitter as Lenyn Sosa will step in for Jacob Amaya.
Here comes Ron Washington going to the mound. I think he probably wants to talk to Joyce about the scouting report on Sosa and how he wants him to work with first base open. Chris Siegel is going out there and wants Ron Washington to wrap it up.
Well, we did have a 2-hour and 48-minute rain delay, so.
Indeed.
Vargas the runner at second, Theis the runner at third. There's 2 outs as the White Sox try to break this 2-2 tie and capture the season opening series. And now Chris Siegel will talk to the crew chief, Alan Porter, and make sure to let everybody know that it was indeed a mound visit.
I would think so. He set up camp.
Joyce versus Sosa. First pitch on the way, and the fastball catches the corner, strike 1.
If you're Theis at third, you have to come down with the pitch because Joyce is hard to handle. Even on a short pass ball or wild pitch, you have to be able to score.
Joyce pumping it in at 102 consistently.
Another fastball in a good spot.
Oh, 2 count here to Sosa with 2 down. In the air, let's see if it stays playable. Foul territory. Kochanowicz chasing and called off by Rengifo as the Sox strand runners at second and third. This game stays tied. We go to the 8th.
It's
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game.
A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks. There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight. The bats have come alive.
A showstopper.
We're just playing Powerball.
This place doesn't know what hit him.
These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues.
Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
If you're a Rockies fan, they've got some young talent. Pretty dynamic, everyday position club.
Starting to see some young guys with some serious talent. There's some speed and there's some pop.
I mean, I always keep a little chip on my shoulder.
He made the catch.
Crazy range, rocket arm.
They just need to have some guys that have breakout years. There's potential there to have that.
They're going to be competitive in every game.
Create your play.
Go further.
Wait, this might work.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Mira esto.
What the?
The fun this young man has playing baseball.
Notes that happened around Major League Baseball. Rafael Devers, well, he's still not happy DHing, losing his spot at third base, but not doing it at the plate. Started the season 0 for 16.
They have to have him hitting because he's one of the best hitters on that team. If he's not hitting, the Red Sox are not going to be doing much.
Yankees, 4 more home runs. I guess those torpedo bats are working for the Bronx Bombers. Jacob deGrom, he is back. And the Marlins getting it done late in ball games already this season.
All 3 wins, walk-offs, and that's pretty amazing. That team has started off 3-1.
Top of the 8th we go. Game is still tied at 2 apiece. And Paris unloads first pitch, going back deep to left field. And it is gone. Kyron Paris gives the Angels a 3-2 lead with a solo home run here in the 8th inning.
First pitch from Cam Boozer went out of the ballpark. So that's 2 home runs he's given up in the early going. And this one a no-doubter. Paris got every bit of that. Looked like a first ball fastball on the inner portion, and Cam Boozer didn't even look. You can tell by the sound.
And once again, Paris is in there because the normal starting center fielder Joe Adell was removed from the game yesterday with hip tightness and is listed as day-to-day. So for Paris, making the most of his opportunity. Top of the order for the Angels as Taylor Ward steps in.
There you look at last year for Boozer.
Cam Boozer, also a new face on this White Sox team. The story of him getting here to the White Sox is something out of a Disney movie. You go back to high school and it's been injury after injury that this young man has had to overcome. Here's his 1-2 pitch here to Ward. Shallow fly ball right field. Strong chase by Jankowski. Makes the catch for the first out here in this 8th inning. So he was a sophomore in high school, broke his femur playing football. Then his senior year, broke his vertebrae lifting weights. Was able to heal from that. Went on to pitch in nearby Oregon State. He's from Seattle. But then just 11 innings into his career at Oregon State, tore his UCL, and he had to have Tommy John surgery when he was 19 years old. Did not actually throw another pitch in college, but still was able to get signed as an undrafted free agent with the Twins in 2013. Suffered injury after injury with the Twins, and after 5 years in the Twins minor league system, he said, you know what? I think this is it for me, and actually walked away from baseball and thought his career was going to be over. 1-1 here, the count on Kochanowicz. So he goes home to Seattle, and his father, who works in construction, said, we got to get you a job doing something. Actually hooked up with a union in Seattle as a carpenter. He was laying ceilings, he said, for almost 2.5 years, and he said he would go there every day on the job and just realize, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. So he decided to get back into youth baseball, and one day he was throwing and he realized, I still got some life left on this fastball of mine. So he was training, signing with an independent team, got back into the minor league system, was with the Red Sox last year, making his big league debut, as this one is served into left field, and had enough of an impression that the White Sox wanted to give him an opportunity and made his first opening day roster this year with the White Sox at 32 years old.
Well, the arm is still awfully good, and it took a stint as a carpenter to remind him just how much fun it is to play baseball. And here he is, a study in persistence, making the major league club out of spring training.
Big matchup here with Mike Trout. Now, Cam Boozer was very honest when I asked him about his story. He said there were a lot of lows in those moments when almost 4 years he was away from baseball back in Seattle. Said he became an alcoholic. He was depressed, actually contemplated suicide. But he said he really had to lean on his mom, his dad, his 2 sisters to get him out of that hole. And he is so grateful for every chance he gets to take the mound here in the big leagues. Good pitch with that cutter. 1-2 the count on Mike Trout. Trout picked up his first hit of the season and his first at bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
There's a good fastball upstairs, and he had Trout expanding his strike zone. He was just able to fight it off. You want to bury one of those sliders again, you're probably going to get a swing.
Boozer looking to put Trout away here. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. How about that sweeper low in the zone? Strike 3.
He set him up nicely with some high heat, put him away with a breaking ball down and out of the zone. See the off center grip, good spin, and Trout was completely fooled.
Cleanup hitter Jorge Soler. Soler 1 for 2, doubled in his last at bat in the 6th inning. One. Cutter outside corner, strike 2. There's that sweeper, the wipeout pitch, but the Angels a solo home run in this 8th inning, taking a 3-2 lead. It was the youngster Kyron Parris with a no-doubter, but then Cam Boozer coming back with back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the top of the 8th.
It all starts here, where baseball's next masterpiece comes to life.
Another historic chapter. This is what you've been waiting for. Aaron Judge, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., Shohei Ohtani.
It's time to unleash the colors of the 2025 season on baseball's center stage. Opening week on MLB Network, presented by Konami.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
The Braves have staying power.
Just an absolute powerhouse. Big-time bombers in the lineup that could really, really hurt you. They're going to be a force again.
Your 2024 National League Cy Young Award winner.
This is what the greats do. Watch him go to work.
Swing and a miss. What a way to finish for Chris Sale.
Explosiveness with the velocity, with the nastiness of his pitches.
The man is on fire.
He is MLB Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's what I do every day. Play baseball and have fun.
Braves just keep on rolling.
It's a one-run lead as the Sox are looking to, at the very least, tie it up here.
So Will Venable going to his bench after the rain delay, as Austin Slater will be the pinch hitter for Travis Jankowski. And first pitch is fouled away upper deck.
Career pinch hitting, pretty impressive. 272 is a nice number for a pinch hitter.
Slater had that solo home run in opening day on Thursday. This time grounds to third as Moncada makes the play. For a preview of what's coming up tonight on White Sox Postgame Live presented by Yingling, let's check in the studio with Chuck and Ozzie.
All right, guys, so listen, 2 hits yesterday, just 5 today. The Sox had a great chance to get a run across from the bottom of the 7th, and now they're trailing.
Yes, it did. I think Baldwin got a little excited about it, swing the bad pitch, but it has been, I always love with good pitching. When you have a good pitching, they always you have opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, that was a 102-mile-an-hour pitch against Baldwin. He ends up making an out Sosa as well. We'll see what happens in the bottom of the 8th inning right here, right now. Back over to you guys.
All right, thank you so much. Another guy off the bench, Michael A. Taylor, will pinch hit for the leadoff guy, Nick Maton. As Burke pouring it in at 97 on the outside.
He's got a very good fastball. It's the other pitches that have given him some problems. He's allowed an OPS of 792. That's 11th highest in the major leagues since the 2023 season on non-fastballs. But the fastball is pretty lively.
Test your luck during every home White Sox game this season with the 50-50 raffle. The Sox Split presented by Wintrust is on sale now until the end of the 9th inning. Play now at whitesox.com/Sox Split. It is valid for Illinois residents 18 and over. Well, Luis Robert Jr. has not messed around in the box today. He's only seen 3 pitches, and he's hacking at the first one there at the plate.
Well, he takes a philosophy that maybe the best pitch you're going to get is the first pitch you get. He goes up there ready to swing and fouled that one off.
A 1 from Burke, and that changeup missing down out of the zone. Ball 1.
That was another change, a pretty good pitch. It was out of the strike zone. Luis expanded it and fouled it off.
2 away here in this bottom of the 8th inning. It's almost like a tennis match. You hear the grunting from Burke on the mound.
He's got some gruntage to him.
Sounded like a broken bat, but just enough of that one to get into center field as Luis Robert Jr. picks up his 2nd hit today.
That's his changeup, and it's off the end of the bat. We told you about the very high OPS on non-fastballs. There's a non-fastball that wound up in center field, and that is a tying run on base.
And this is who you want at the plate for the Sox, Andrew Benintendi.
Jason Bourgeois, the first base coach, with some fancy footwork to get out of the way of that.
The crowd has stuck around, trying to give Benintendi some energy at the plate. Here's the 0-1. Robert Jr. with speed at first. With 2 away. And they check on him. Change up as Benintendi out in front of that one, and it's 1-2.
That was a good change. That's the best non-fastball that he's thrown in this inning. There you see the grip. He had Benny swinging at the motion as opposed to the ball, and no contact.
15th pitch of the inning for Burke. Runner goes, throw down a second, and Luis Robert Jr. swipes second base. Tries to throw him out. No chance at all for that. A little poke from Benny will tie this game here in the 8th inning. 2-2. Grounder up the middle, backhanded, and Hifo will make the play at first. After 8, it's the Angels holding on to a 1-run lead.
Second real good play of the game for Rengifo, and he gets the job done.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude. Stand up to cancer.
We are attacking your opposites.
Together.
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 We got our hands up in the air.
My, oh my. Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way. Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
The Braves have staying power.
Just an absolute powerhouse. Big-time bombers in the lineup that could really, really hurt you. They're going to be a force again.
Your 2024 National League Cy Young Award winner.
This is what the greats do. Watch him go to work.
Swing and a miss. What a way to finish for Chris Sale.
Explosiveness with the velocity, with the nastiness of his pitches.
The man is on fire. He is MLB Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what I do every day. Play baseball and have fun.
Braves just keep on rolling.
We go to the 9th inning. The Angels with a 3-2 lead over the White Sox. New pitcher on the mound.
Frazier Ellard comes on. You saw what he did last year. The ERA, a pretty good one at 3.75.
Ellard, one of 3 lefties in the bullpen for the White Sox this season. And the First two up and out of the zone. 2-0 the count to Yoan Moncada. We know Moncada drove in the game winner yesterday at the plate, but he's actually looked really good in the field this entire series.
I mean, he's a very good defender, always has been.
Health has always been the question with Moncada, and the Angels taking a chance that he can stay healthy on a one-year, $5 million deal. Three-two. Foul tipped into the glove, strike three. Time for our PNC Bank slow moments of the game. That is the highlight of the game. Oh, as d'Arnaud gets plunked.
Frazier tries to run a fastball up and in, and it gets it 2 in. So he's got the pad there. It probably took a little of the pain out of that one. Still not great, but he appears to be okay.
A little stare for the youngster Ellard after he took that one. Luis Rengifo 0 for 2 so far today.
His contribution has been defensive. He's made 2 outstanding plays in the field.
Zone to chase that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, for Ellard, trying to keep this a 1-run game, because look who is going to come in the bottom of the 9th for the Angels. Kenley Jansen, their closer they signed in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, picked up the save yesterday. Looks like he'll have the opportunity to try again. And I would say to the boys, be ready for the cutter, because you're going to see a cornucopia of them.
Fourth all-time in terms of Major League Baseball save list, Kenley Jansen. On the ground. Baldwin, who moved from second to short, starts it off, and a double play turn. Let's see if the White Sox can mount a rally and use a little momentum from this double play.
They get a chance to turn 2. They turn 2. And
Roar is back in Motown. Right now in Major League Baseball, we have a new Tiger King. Tarek Skubal owns this mound.
Look at him walking off the mound. This guy's a nightmare.
This kid's special, doing it all.
Riley Green saves the day.
Does everything on the field, plays great defense, can steal bags.
He's a monster.
If I'm on time, I know my swing is going to be in the best spot possible for me to hit the ball.
Riley Green tears into another one.
That's the Tigers, baby.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Ketel Marte, he's done it one more time. The best second baseman in the game, that's Ketel Marte. There goes Corbin.
Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
Snakes alive.
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
At MLBshop.com, you can get all the latest officially licensed merchandise for you and your family. But if you really want to level up your game, you can grab something for your dog walker, your Pilates instructor, your swim coach, your neighbor, your accountant, your gardener, your best friend, your bandmate, your boss, your kid's teacher, your mailman. Visit MLBshop.com and stock up on officially licensed on-field merchandise from your favorite teams.
Sox fans, join us at the ballpark on Saturday, April 12th, as the White Sox take on the Red Sox at 3 o'clock. First 15,000 fans will receive a 1920 jersey hoodie presented by Rate. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos.
There's a look at Kenley Jansen, who picked up the first save of the season in yesterday's game. Last season, 54 games, 3.29 ERA. He still has very good stuff, and it's just cutter after cutter. He can throw it to both sides of the plate. He has a big hesitation in his delivery. So it's not only pretty good stuff, but it's deception as far as throwing the baseball, because you just got to try to pick up the ball out of his hand, which is easier said than done.
At 37 years old, still knows how to shut the door in the 9th inning.
And still taking the baseball whenever asked.
It'll be Andrew Vaughn to start things off for the Sox. 4, 5, 6 due up at the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. There's that cutter, rides into righties. 1-0.
Just missed maybe a tick of the uniform. Would have been nice to see Andrew at first base. Still looking for his first hit, despite hitting the ball pretty hard.
This one hard, smokes it into left field. Vaughn will take the big turn. He's looking for 2 off the wall. And Andrew Vaughn with a double, his first hit of the 2025 season.
Yeah, all you can really control is hitting the ball hard. Andrew was doing that, so you knew it was just a matter of time until he came up with something meaningful. And this cutter stayed in the middle of the plate. Andrew took it down the line. No chance for Ward to do anything but get it back in, and there's the tying run. Andrew will depart for a pinch runner, and it's Corey Lee.
So Corey Lee representing the tying run at second base. And here's Matt Thaiss, who is 2 for 3 today.
What's kind of interesting is Kochanowicz is playing very close. On the first pitch, he was in too close. There was no real reason for that, because the tying run is not at third, it's at second. Now he moves back to give him a better angle on the ball. I think that Ron Washington probably looked out and said, move back a little bit.
You see Moncada still in at the edge of the grass at third. From Jansen, and he spikes that slider. 2-0.
Well, you can tell already that the stuff isn't quite what it was yesterday, so this is going to be a battle for him. Usually don't throw back-to-back games this early in the year, but he did it. I'm talking about Washington, did it with Joyce, who was successful. He's doing it with Jansen, and his success remains to be seen.
2-0. Big swing and a miss from Thaiss. Kenley Jansen had 2 strikeouts yesterday, picking up his first save for the Angels. He's now 4th all-time in Major League Baseball save list, behind Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, and Lee Smith. But to your point, has not had that control here today.
No, and hopefully that trend continues.
3 balls and a strike to count to the catcher, Thaiss. And he misses up out of the zone. Ball 4. Time now for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota.
And you can see the Twins coming for a 3-game series. They got hammered today in St. Louis with the off day on Thursday, and then it's on the road for the first time. 3 in Detroit, another off day, 3 with Cleveland before coming back against the Red Sox.
I was watching that Cleveland Royals game, and Clase, their nasty closer, it looked like it hit India maybe in the ear flap or the face. He had to leave the ball game. That was a scary one. There's Vargas swinging at the first pitch. Infield fly is called. So one away here in this bottom of the 9th inning. Brooks Baldwin now with one down is 1 for 3 today. That single coming back in the 5th inning.
One of the things to bear in mind, whether you're an infielder or outfielder, you're probably going to be getting a wet baseball to throw if it's hit to you.
Noticing that Kenley Jansen does not have his sharpest stuff, are you attacking at the plate or are you being more patient?
You got to be patient because he doesn't have a real good feel for the strike zone. That one down the middle. Good pitch to hit. Baldwin fouled it straight back. Will Venable looking for a comeback.
1-1. And Jansen's missing all over the place. Missing up, missing in, down. See if Baldwin can take advantage, find something in a zone he likes. Both catchers on base for the Sox. Theis at first, Corey Lee's at second. Here's the 2-1. On the ground. This could be 2. The flip to second, over to first. And a double play is turned, and the Angels take game 3, the decider in this 3-game series, 3-2.
We'll take a look at that play at first base again. Alex McKay on the call, and indeed they turned a pair. So the Sox tried to battle back. They put 2 on with nobody out. Unfortunately, Kenley Jansen doing what he's done his entire career, getting out of some nasty jams.
So Jansen all smiles as he picks up his 2nd save of this early season, and the Angels take this 3-game series 2-1. Our final score, it's the Angels with a 3-2 win over the Sox. My partner Steve Stone, Brooke Fletcher, Connor McKnight, I am John Schriff, and thank you for joining us. White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling comes your way next. Chuck, Ozzie, guys, it's all yours.